Hello and welcome to the pilot episode of the Tumor Revue. This is your one of your two co-hosts, Schrafft, and today I'm enjoying a nice, lovely Crystal Gems black tea with milk and sugar. Zandyr, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, Schrafft. Thanks for asking. I'm enjoying a finely brewed Mountain Dew Baja Blast straight from the vending machines here in Podron Alley. There's a strange Italian stereotype who decided to throw it at me. It's more so than me getting it from a vending machine. Quite violent.
That's kind of funny because I assumed that he had been, much like many undesirables of our city, I assumed that he had been kicked out permanently. That's what I heard, at least. He got a little too drunk during the holiday festivities.
As did most of the city, it seems. It has come to my attention that many of the fine establishments here in New Los Angeles City, aka Neo Milwaukee, have not taken kindly to armies of child soldiers just camping out within the stalls of their fine establishments and have been kicking them to the curb after a 3-hour time limit.
Yeah. Well, I'd say, you know, as a child soldier myself and a gatherer of them, I'd say that in general, you know, this discrimination cannot be stood for. However, the benefit lies in that at least the rowdies get their punishment too. It's all equal. And with that, I think we can just jump right into our first story. Earlier this week, when all the establishments started implementing that policy, the rowdies and their early bedtime allowed them to capitalize on quite a big opportunity, as that was signed into law, and everyone was kicked out of their safe hiding spots. You know, they just walked the streets murdering people. You have any thoughts on the matter?
It's quite a bloody sight. I had just heard the news early into the afternoon, and was informed via private message that I needed to leave my beautiful little stall underneath the Pizza Hut in the food court within 30 seconds, or I would, quote, be fucked in sideways. So, naturally, I gathered up my things and ran like hell to the beautiful safety of the cathedral in Copkill Town.
What a glowing light it is.
Almost dimmed away the oceans of blood being spilled near everywhere. So it goes in the city.
Yeah, that's the way it is sometimes, you know? So, the unfortunate side effect was, fortunate for some, was that it's in the bloodbath, Munchie's slime skyrocketed. Simply shot out up the roof, you know? And it was quite a sight to behold. I believe probably the most killing that had been done within a single period of time since Season 1, which I don't know anything about because, you know, we're of the finer culture, but the lore we've heard whispers, but you know, we only gather bits and pieces from our lost history, as you know.
Whatever they're willing to share, of course.
Right, and who knows who's twisted the facts to their devious desires. In light of that, after the bloodbath, you know, surprisingly, there was quite a hole for the killers to fill. You know, following some management changes, let's say, some new killers have been brought into the fold and been quite successful. If we take a look at the traffic right now and just take a peek at the map here, to my recollection, it's been purple all day.
Amazing.
Yeah, and considering with another new policy that, you know, territory control takes twice as long, that's quite a feat, I've got to say.
It's not easy. You need a well-coordinated group for that.
You really do. I will say, in imitation of the bloodbath, the killers came out in a surprising show of organization that hasn't been seen in quite a while to this magnitude, and attempted a capturing party, if you will. About 6 or 7 killers to one zone at a time, if you can believe it.
It's hard to believe. I mean, I've seen the small roving packs here and there. I've joined. I've partaken in the small camping parties, as it were, but never quite a phalanx of killers just storming the streets, taking the city back, as it were.
Yeah, a truly beautiful sight to behold, and the lovely Minotaur himself joined us, Sir Crack.
Really?
Yeah, and he's been quite active on his own too, capturing when he can, clearly using his developer wizard powers while at it, clearly cheating, of course.
Disgusting. Admirable, but disgusting.
Yeah, well, the good news is it's all for the right cause, of course.
The only noble cause.
Yes. So, in lieu of the cosmetic update, some local gang members have turned merchants.
Yes, I've actually seen one meaty learner walking the streets, selling his wares to the public for an exorbitant amount of slime coin, if I'm being honest. It's practically highway robbery.
It truly is, and you know that capitalist baron, meaty learner, he doesn't even roam the streets anymore. He has a courier do it for him.
Oof.
Yeah, imagine him up in that ivory tower of Rowdy Roughhouse, counting his cash. It really is a shame. The greed of that man. And luckily some capitalist entrepreneur heroes have come to the forefront and really started challenging what the market can look like and sort of breaking up his monopoly.
Yes, I've seen Sir Canman make quite a noble effort to completely undercut his prices at every conceivable opportunity.
And Shawnee's been at it too. Shawnee's been quite the startup. He's been selling podrins, he's been selling cosmetics, he's been selling everything besides his iconic hat, which is physically attached to his head, if I'm to believe the tales.
Of course. Barring Shawnee's hat, of course. I've heard that there might be a juvie of all things selling hat wares amongst the city streets as well.
Yes. Though she be a minor, she is very active, and she's got the entrepreneurial spirit within her. This is not an ad, by the way. If you would like a hat, you can get a hat for 2 podrins. And that's suspicious. She's probably got some highly invested capitalist behind her to be able to take that temporary loss for the sake of establishing the brand.
The brand is everything.
Oh, truly.
First and foremost, the brand.
With a presentation of a saleswoman like that, she's got the galaxy hat. She's got it all going on. Who could possibly say no to that face? And that's really what's going to carry it in the long run when we move into the point where everyone's got a corporate mascot. Hat sales girl, she's already her own mascot. She's got that cornered. It'll be interesting to see how these developments go. And not only just sales of goods are going on, but sales of services too.
Yes, this would be the beautiful, I want to say, I've seen a few ghosts, in fact, who have been delivering food to eager miners for pretty reasonable amounts of slime coin.
Most of the time it's just a simple markup, a delivery fee.
Nice to see that death cannot halt the flow of capitalism.
Of course. It cannot be stopped by any means. The slime coin will flow. I do hear whispers of the return of the stock market.
No.
I kid you not. Perhaps with the economy completely crashed and the new economy resurfacing, perhaps the stock market can be founded upon a more stable ground.
I'll be certainly keeping my eye out. Lord knows I need to get on those stocks this time. We need new ground floor boys.
Absolutely. It'd really be the return of an era. I'd watch out for people like Canman. He's a seasoned stock trader. Now they just need to set up the bazaar to be exactly like the Grand Exchange in RuneScape. I think now's a good time to break into our segment, Tumors Know Best, where we suggest nurses' office ideas live on the podcast without any preparation whatsoever, much like the commenters of the actual nurses' office do. So with that being said, Xander, how would you like to lead us off?
I would personally prefer that when combat is engaged, you are, much like in the old Season 1 days, you are marked for combat for a set amount of time. A brief window in which there is no safe zone. You must prove yourself in gladiatorial combat and prove that you are worthy of the blood you have spilled.
The bounties would surely just skyrocket. Perhaps under that circumstances, when Matt says #enter the arena, it'll be for real this time.
Oh, we can only hope.
I'm simply waiting this is my suggested change because I, as a tumor, know best. I'm simply waiting for the vending machine outside the 7-Eleven to include all of our favorite snack foods, such as sour Skittles, Takis, perhaps if they can get the cooler working, some Choco Tacos in there.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that would be absolutely revitalizing for anyone who's stranded out in the middle of, let's be honest with ourselves, rowdy territory.
I would slaughter my way into rowdy territory for a single bite of a Choco Taco, so clearly some great ground here.
Amen to that. If you'd like to have your ad or message read on this show by either Zandyr or I, feel free to DM the person you'd like to read it with a slime coin receipt transfer. Please feel free to send 500 slime coin to either Zandyr or myself, depending on who you'd like to read it.
There is no real limit to what you are advertising, just make sure that it is brief, to the point, and of course, a slogan guaranteed to make you that sweet, sweet coin.
And I just want to clarify, while we do support all the lovely startup businesses here in our fair city, we'll also read a love message or your deepest, darkest secret. We'd be happy to, as long as it's not sexual in nature, as there are side servers for that sort of thing.
We have fairly low standards, as you can tell. We will take all comers.
And I think with that, we'll leave you for next week. Thanks for enjoying the Tumor Review. This is Schrafft and Zandyr, signing off.
Stay safe out there.